welcome to my channel. This video is for a baby boy shower mum or ribbon pin. Please join my YouTube family by subscribing and tap that bell for notifications on my uploads and live streams. My longest piece of ribbon is 10 inches long. The backer I'll be using is 4 inches in diameter. This is actually a ribbon spool end. It's just made of chipboard, so any kind of chipboard cut in a circle will do. I'm going to attach this longest piece right in the center, the bottom center of that backer. Now my next two are going to be slightly shorter. I always go just a little bit shorter as I layer these ribbons. You can make them all the same length if you prefer. And then I cut a slant on the bottom, and you can attach these in different ways and get different looks out of them. So you can attach them that way and get that look, or you can attach them this way and get a completely different look. This is the way I want to attach these, so I'm going to staple those on as well. This is a Bostitch stapler, a P3 plier stapler, and I have a link for that in the description, and it's also on my YouTube shop. I'm sorry, my Amazon shop. Now the next layer I cut at a slant as well, and I am going to attach them like this, so I get that pretty design. But you could also do them the opposite and get that look. So just whatever look you're going for, I like to change it up every time I make one and do slightly different things. So just cutting the bottoms differently and how you attach them, you can get completely different looks from each one of your mum or your ribbon pin. I'm making this just like I would a mum, except I'm not going to use a flower, so you could call it more of a ribbon pin, so either one works. Okay, now I want to cut that center ribbon, and you could cut a dovetail, but I'm actually going to cut the opposite. I'm going to make it into a point instead of upwards. So I get this look. Look how pretty that is. So now I'm going to add this wired ribbon, and you just want to make sure that you remove the wire after you cut the ribbon. I've already attached that on both ends, so just cut 2 pieces. And now I'm doing this cute gingham ribbon. It does not have a wire or anything, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm just attaching 2 pieces in the center. Now I'm going to cut ribbons for loops at the top of the ribbon pin or mum. I'm cutting these at 4 inches long. This is 1.3 inch width ribbon. You can use acetate or polypropylene. This one is actually more of a combination of the both. It is a flora ribbon, and I believe you can get it from Amazon. I probably have some on my Amazon shop. This one I got from my wholesaler. I got it at a really good price, that's why I bought it. It's a little bit thinner than acetate ribbon, but it works just as well, especially if you get the white or black. You don't have to worry about matching up the colors. So I'm also cutting the wired ribbons to layer them, and of course you want to remove that wire because it'll mess up the loops, so you want a more natural loop. And using the acetate or polypropylene inside of there, the reason why I'm doubling them up is because it's going to make a nicer loop. It'll make a stiffer loop. If you just use the wired ribbon, they would flatten out, so it wouldn't look as good. So I like to use the acetate or polypropylene inside the loop so it forms a nice loop. Another tip about buying the polypropylene or the ones that say flora ribbon, they're actually less expensive than the acetate ribbon. The ones that are just polypropylene though are really glossy looking and slick, so they can be a little bit more difficult to work with. Now I'm layering some of these pretty 5/8 inch width ribbons, the ginghams and the glitter, and these both came from DollarTree, so it's a good way to add some cute ribbons, some pretty ribbons, and not be anything expensive. So I'm making doubles of all of these loops. And then I'm going to start gluing them on. And I'm just going to glue them straight onto the backer that has these streamers on. Usually when you watch me making a mum, I do a totally separate backer, but I just wanted to show how you can use less and you can do them all on the same one. And I'm starting at the northern loop at the top, and then I'm going to go to the south, and I'm going to try to line those up straight so they're straight across from each other. And now I'm going to see where I need to attach the two on each side of those. And normally if I was doing like 4 loops and then 4 more loops, I would attach them at north, south, east, and west pattern and then attach the next 4 in between. But since I had 6 loops, that's why I'm attaching them this way. Now I've got some 7/8 inch width acetate, and I'm layering with some pretty ribbons, the glitter ribbons, the gingham ribbons, and then I'm going to also do a 9/16 inch blue ribbon, a royal blue. So I've got some different blues going on in this mum or ribbon pin. I've got royal blue, I've got baby blue, just all different colors of blue, like all different shades of blue. I didn't want to stick to one particular color of blue. I wanted to add some different colors of blue, and I think it turned out really pretty. So I'm attaching these smaller loops in between the bigger loops, and you could see the backer or the spool behind those first 6 loops or in between, so you have to add more to cover that up. You don't ever want that to be showing. So here's the last 2, and that's with the royal blue 9/16 inch width. And I do have links for all the acetate ribbons on Amazon as well, on my Amazon shop. Some of them you'll find in the description, just a particular link just for that item, but you can also go to my Amazon shop, the link to my Amazon shop, and look under either ribbons or homecoming mum supplies, and you'll find all these supplies that I'm using, anything that I bought from Amazon. So I'm going to go around now with my stapler and staple all over those loops to make sure they're all nice and secure and attached really well. Just making my way all the way around. Okay, so now I took a 12-inch piece of, this is 1.5 inch width grosgrain royal blue ribbon, and I'm heating the ends, that way they don't fray. And now I'm going to glue the ends over just a little bit as well to make some pretty ends, some clean ends. And I'm just going to ruffle this, glue it onto the backer in front of those loops. Since I'm not using a flower, I've got to do more to the center of that mum. That's very, very simple. Just want to glue it down. Just kind of figuring out where I want it. Let's put a little glue on the corner and start wherever you want. And I'm just going to make a little ruffle and keep gluing just every, I don't know, it was maybe a 1/2 inch, a 1/4 of an inch. I just make a little ruffle in between each one. I wasn't measuring or anything, I was just eyeballing it. And it turned out to be just a little bit short, but I liked it anyway. I thought it turned out cute. Now I'm taking this wired ribbon again, and I'm just eyeballing how big I want my bow. And you can remove the wires or you can leave the wires in, whichever you prefer. I'm going to remove it. Just anything with a mum or a ribbon pin, I like to remove the wires. So this is a simple cheer bow. Just fold it over like that and then gather it in the center and grab a chenille stem and wrap around the center. It's a very simple bow to make, and they're very cute. Just want to tightly wrap that around, twist it off a good couple of times, really tightly. I think this is an iridescent chenille stem. Just fold that chenille stem down in the back so it's flat. See how cute that bow is, and then I'm going to cut dovetails on the bottom, of course. Gotta make those tails look cute too. Now I'm going to attach it. You can attach it, center it. I'm going to attach it at an angle. But first I decided it needed a little bit more, so I've got some white sequins tulle, glitter and sequins tulle. I'm just cutting that at, I think it was about 18 inches long, 17, 18 inches. And just gather it in the center. Very simple. Nothing complicated about this at all. And then you're going to take a chenille stem again and wrap around the center where you gathered it, twist it off. So you just made like a little puff or a bow out of that tulle. Very simple. And I'm going to stick that chenille stem through that center hole of that backer. Because I want it right in the center. So instead of using a flower, you can use tulle. You can make a bigger one too. You can layer them and make a big puff if you want. I've done that before too. It's really cute. So I'm actually layering, or taking those chenille stem ends and putting them on either side of that hole, and then I'm going to staple that chenille stem down, and that's going to secure that tulle right there in the center of the mum or the ribbon pin. So I'm adding a couple of staples each end. Want to make sure it's secure, and then you can fold those ends over the staple to make sure it doesn't slide out of there. And then you want to put a little bit of hot glue on there as well. So that's me folding over those ends so it doesn't come loose. See how cute that is? Now just add a little bit of hot glue onto that staple so to make sure nothing comes undone. Now I can attach, I've got this cute rattle, and I'm just going to tie that chenille stem around that rattle. That's how I'm securing them together. Very simple. And then I'll glue them on there together. You could also glue the rattle on top of the bow if you wanted to as well. This rattle came from DollarTree as well. I think you get like 4 in a package. So just again attaching that at an angle, because I like things angled instead of centered up. I just like the looks of it. You know, you attach it however you like. You just want to hold that down till it's dried good. And then I'm just going to run that lighter over those ends to make sure they don't fray. I got this little pacifier I'm going to attach in the center. You could also put a little piece of bling, whatever kind of rhinestone or something. There's a tiny little baby bottle I'm going to put up there too. So just layering these little trinkets. All these little trinkets all came from DollarTree. Here's a teddy bear. I'm going to put that on the ribbon. Then the little stroller on the other ribbon on the opposite side. Now a little baby pin, safety pin, right there in the middle. They have all kinds of cute little trinkets, plastic trinkets and baby designs. They're so cute. This is a soft satin ribbon. So I heat sealed the ends, and it's 12 inches long. I'll make a simple bow. Just take your ribbon like this, fold it like this, and then kind of give your loops a twist. So you've got a tail going up and a tail going down. I really like these bows. I think they're really cute. And then I'm going to layer the glitter ribbon underneath. So to make a 2-layer bow. And with the glitter, I have to twist the ribbon to make sure that the glitter is on top. So right there, I'm twisting it. See how I twisted it? That way your glitter is or your pattern is always on top. And you're just holding on to it in the center. Twist it again to make sure the tail is up where the glitter is showing. And again, you just want to gather it in the center. Take a chenille stem, wrap it around really tightly. Give it a couple of twists. And then flatten those out again. Very simple, very cute. Want to trim up the ends, make sure they look pretty. I'm just cutting them at an angle again. So I'm just going to add hot glue where the chenille stem is on the back side, and then glue it directly onto that wired ribbon there at the bottom. Those make really, really cute bows. I'm really happy with those bows. I started making those last season during homecoming, and I'm really, really loving them. I'm going to make another bow out of sheer or organza ribbon. These you cannot make perfectly with this ribbon. You just have to make loops and then twist it off. It's really difficult to make a really pretty, I mean, they just come out pretty, but they don't look like it when you're making them. They're really difficult to work with. So here it is finished. You see I added that bow there, and I put a rattle on both of the bows, glued those directly on both of the bows. There's a close-up of it. All these trinkets came from DollarTree, and then I glued that pin on the very back side. You could glue a ribbon as well if you needed to. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, share, comment, like. Please be kind with your comments, and please be kind to others. Happy crafting, everyone!